Let's talk Trisuits. So I had a friend who was asking for some advice about what to wear during triathlon for a long course. You're probably gonna be watching this, Beth. And so I wanted to run through, we've been doing this for several years. So I wanted to run through kind of what we wear and the different brands that we like and why. So before I open this closet, full disclosure that this is both my gear and my husband's gear, and it's also triathlon and it's cycling. So we have a lot of stuff. Okay. Ta-da! So, let's see, first, I think I'll start with this one. So this is Tres Piñas, 3 pineapples. This is a really nice brand, female focused, female owned. And so I think I used this for my first half Ironman actually. So first to talk about what a tri-suit is. So there's different things you can wear for triathlon. You can wear a top and a bottom, so a tri-top and tri-shorts. So these would be shorts that you would wear, and a top if you prefer to have 2 pieces. Some have sleeves, some are sleeveless. Honestly, we always wear sleeves because of the aerodynamic benefit and sun protection. Tri-shorts essentially are different than regular shorts because you're gonna be riding wearing these while riding the bike. So things you're gonna look for, they're gonna fit, snug, but not tight. Most of them will have these little tiny grippers. There's a lot of different kinds. I prefer the ones that have kind of a rubber texture, or even like a little, instead of like a line, because a lot of times that can, these just spread out a little bit evenly. And then, like if you have an end in there, that's gonna be a little uncomfortable. So they'll have that. This inside part is called a chamois. And so that it's pretty thin, but it's still providing you with a little bit of support. So you're not just riding a bike in, like running shorts. We wouldn't really want to do that. But the goal is to have the chamois be, thin enough that you can get off and run off the bike, and you're not like running in a diaper. That would be really uncomfortable, right? So a sleeved full piece tri-suit. This is the way it works. So you will wear it for swimming, cycling, and running. So it has a zipper like that. So it is essentially one piece. So down here, you can see, again, you have a chamois, and these are pretty thin, but this one, again, has these little grippers on the legs, so it makes it super comfortable. And then this is nice because if you need to, you could stop at a porta potty, unzip it, and quickly, it's not that hard to get off. So another feature of tri-suits is a lot of them have pockets in the back like this. So you could stash snacks. If you happen to be wearing one of these on a training ride, you can put your phone. We don't use tri-suits for training rides, and it's simply because the whole idea of a tri-suit is a one piece that you can wear for the entire race, swim, bike, and run, that provides aerodynamic benefit also. So if you like training in a tri-suit, totally fine. We don't, as mentioned, these chamois are pretty thin. So if you were especially training for long distance triathlon, doing a lot of long rides, like today we rode for 3 hours, we are going to be wearing cycling bibs instead, and a jersey. And so you can see that is definitely a more robust chamois. And so tri-suits are just not really meant to do that all the time, but if that's what you like, some people like less padding. It's not necessarily the more padding that's going to help you be comfortable on the bike. It has to do with your bike fit, also the type of saddle, and then the amount of chamois that you have in your own physiology. So this is Tres Piñas. It's really nice. It fits compressive, but it's not like super tight. So I really like this one. I'm going to show you this, but I don't believe these are available anymore. This is Sparrow. So if any of you remember Wadi Ink from back in the day, essentially Wadi Ink turned into Sparrow, right? It was just rebranding. And so currently, like those bibs I just showed you were LEL cycling. Sparrow is just the triathlon version of LEL cycling. These are amazing tri-suits. Same thing, they have great grippers. and the full zipper down the front, and then the pockets in the back. The only thing is that these were all custom when we were on their team, so I'm not certain that they even offer anything that you can buy, you know, if you don't do custom, and I don't know if they're doing custom anymore. But I want to show you because this was my suit for Ironman Florida. This is my husband's. So, pretty fun designs. This is Win Republic, Australian brand, I think. So this little tiny bear. This is what my husband wore for Ironman Arizona last year. These are a little bit more like premium suits, so they're gonna be a little bit more expensive. So you see these little lines here. This just kind of helps with drag, so it's for aerodynamics. And they lay really flat on your arm. Also, this particular suit is interesting because it has these pockets in the side. He might have stashed a gel in there on the run. And then instead of having the top pockets, which if you were doing a swim where you weren't wearing a wetsuit, that can create some drag. So they have these side pockets that are really nice. And the color is amazing. We always try to find things with bright colors because it makes it easy for, you know, spectators and friends to find you out on course. This is a pretty thin chamois, so it isn't too robust. But I know he definitely liked wearing this one. Our current tri-suit, this is Castelli, a brand that's been around for a long time. You'll see that little scorpion. So this is, I would say on, you know, a little bit higher end. Now the thing is, with any of these brands, they have different models. So you can get like their base entry model, and then they have the fancier ones that go up. But on a whole, Castelli is also really nice. You can see, the thing I like about Castelli is this top material is super thin, and it's actually perforated. And you can see the little holes, so this is very light, which I appreciate during the run. This is a custom suit for our triathlon team, our coach. And so again, it has the more aero side pockets. This one has a single zipper. And the chamois on these are pretty nice. Some of the better that I've found. So it's a good mix of like not too thick, but also enough that it feels like it's actually doing something. So, and then these are a little bit different because it has just little tiny grippers. But these are super stretchy. You're gonna wear this underneath your wetsuit. If it's a wetsuit swim, that is what they're made for. Or you could wear it without anything on top of it. Tip, we don't wear underwear with these. We don't wear underwear with tri-suits or with cycling clothes. That is what this area is for. So that provides the underwear. You don't do that. You will regret that with chafing. You could do a full length, kind of like that. You could do shorts with a top for performance and just ease. We're always gonna do that. Now, what you can do also is if you were doing a full Ironman, you can change clothes. So we've done it different ways. When I did Ironman Florida, it's a saltwater swim, right? And so you think about getting out of the saltwater, there's hoses to kind of rinse you off. That's great, but it's never gonna get anything off. So instead of wearing a tri-suit that I knew I was gonna be riding for, you know, like up to 6 hours on the bike, and salt, when it dries, is gonna chafe. So what I did was I wore a swimsuit, then I went in the changing tent, and I switched into a pair of cycling bibs and a jersey. And you know, it takes like 2 minutes to change into clothes. So if that's what you need to do to feel more comfortable on the bike, my coach is like, you're gonna spend 2 minutes over the course of a, you know, like a 10 to 16 hour day is nothing. So if you need to spend that 2 minutes to make sure that you are comfortable on the bike for, you know, 6, 7 hours, how long it takes you, then do that. Then what I did was I changed into running shorts and a running tank top for the run. So I did that for, actually for both of my Ironman races. So it's up to you if you are comfortable with wearing the same thing all day, but just know, you know, you're gonna be doing over century in a tri-suit, not a whole lot of padding. I'm more comfortable in cycling bibs, so that's what I did. My husband opted for the tri-suit. So it's really whatever fits your, you know, your preferences and your goals and stuff. So I hope that was a fun like tour of our closet. I think next I'm gonna do one on cycling clothes, and then probably go through wetsuits because we have a lot of those too. So stay tuned.